Hello, I'm Henrietta Hagelson, and it's time for Amateur Archaeology Hour. Oh, I must tell you, today we have a most unusual find. Now, I had gone to my friend Annie's house, and she has a wonderful family history. Her great, great, and I think there's another great on it, aunt, um, great aunt Maud Brewster Van Weyden, and Uncle Humphrey Brewster Van Weyden. I think they were the first couple to ever, hyphenate their names. Anyway, uh, she's related to these people. They had the most extraordinary lives in meeting, though there were things that Humphrey wouldn't talk about. But she came into possession of a trunk that was sent to her house. And she invited me over to explore the depths of this trunk. Oh, it was just most amazing. And we found in it the most unusual thing, a journal, a leather journal. And it was in remarkable shape for all the years it had been there and that it had been to sea. And we found out what had happened to great-great-great-uncle Humphrey. For in it was, and it's just remarkable how he had come to be on a ship called the Ghost, under the command of a man named Wolf Larsen. And I guess the man, and that was not his actual first name. Nobody knew his actual first name, but I guess he was a brute of a man. Well, this is his account of his first meeting with Uncle Humphrey. Today I lost a crewman and found a crewman. The mate poisoned himself with who knows what combination of drug and drink, dying right here on deck. The new man was floating right there in Frisco Bay. And of course he means San Francisco, but back then many people referred to San Francisco as Frisco, meaning people who didn't live here. No doubt part of the ferry collision we heard in the fog. I was scanning the water and, to my surprise, locked eyes with a man looking up at me, floating in a life preserver in ice-cold water of the bay. When he gained consciousness and I came to make his acquaintance, I could not believe what a soft fellow, the softest fellow if ever I met. Never worked a day in his life, living on an allowance left by the work of his father. My father would have killed us before he left us an allowance. No man should be spoiled by his father to be soft and useless. He seemed a learned man. Even his name, Humphrey Van Weyden, seems a learned man's name. I could have put him aboard the pilot Lady Mine as she passed us, but I decided he needed to stay aboard. I needed a crewman, and he needed to learn to stand on his own legs. Imagine the audacity of the man to decide for another what he needed, but decide he did. And for my own needs, I need a learned man aboard who reads books and can discuss them, debate them even. How I have longed for an intellectual equal. Well, We'll see how he'll turn out. Either this voyage will be the making of him or the end of him. Well, as we know, great 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 uncle Humphrey survived. And as we have learned, Wolf Larsen had a sickness, and somehow Humphrey and Maud made it back. But at the smallest handwriting, the man had wonderful penmanship, and he seemed an educated man. And we'll read further in his journal in further episodes of Amateur Archaeological Hour. So exciting.